Good morning, everyone. I had to talk about this headache relief cap. Um, it says it naturally relieves migraines, headaches, and stress, and it's a 360-degree hot and cold compression. Um, Now I'm going to tell you, it does not eliminate my headache. There is, it just doesn't. But what it does do for me is it gives me the pressure, the restriction, the compression that my head needs when it starts to build. And even when it's already raging in pain, it almost silences it somewhat, takes the edge off. Um, I have it more on since it arrived in the mail from my tribe sister up in Indiana, Miss Andy. Oh my word. Um, I kept trying to develop some kind of helmet because I could tell that the pressure points were important, especially on the back of my head. My acupuncturist kept putting needles in the back of my head at these pressure points that were affecting my organs. Well, this is pushing exactly where it needs to. Now, what's really interesting is there's a notch out of it. So if you flip it around the other way, it's supposed to go here, but I can assure you, when I sleep, I pull it down this way because it's tighter. I need it tight. I don't need it loose at all. And when I pull it down this way, it's tighter around my eyes, whereas if I do it the other way, and I know it's one size fits all, and it would be hard to Velcro this on your head, and that wouldn't even work because if you it'd just be so uncomfortable. Um, so it's really interesting how just flipping it the opposite direction, how much more relief it's giving me than what the purpose was with the notch out for my nose. Um, it actually opens up my airways even more so because ever since this episode started, I've been congested. So um, just pulling this down to right here, it's amazing how much it relieves all the pressure in here, almost like a breathe right. The breathe rights I always loved, especially the Vicks ones, because you could put them across your nose and it would instantly open up your airways. Well, what's really interesting is when you pull this down to a certain place, it does the same thing. So that kills two birds with one stone. And ever since I've gone through this episode, this is the third time I tested positive for all three of the vaccines, and I'm still here by the grace of God. There's no doubt. Um, this time is way worse. This time everything is intensified because the levels are even higher this time around. I um, I have found that the newest thing that I have to do, and you can see all this around near my heart, is I get pain that wraps around. It starts back in the back and of my heart, and I can feel it wrap around my back. And I've felt some other things too. I've had chest pain. I've had weight on my chest. And then she lays on top of me, and she lays there until it's time for her to move, until I can't handle any more of the pressure on top of me. But today is the second time she's laid completely on my chest. Now I have managed to keep my weight at the same. Is it elevated? Yes, but at least it's not getting any higher. So my edema, I'm keeping at bay. Um, she's helping with that as well. She lays on my legs. So my little leg warmer things that I used to have, well, I wore them out. They no longer work. They stopped working a while ago. I even emailed the company and never got a response back from them. So they obviously didn't even, I don't even think I had them a year. Now, granted, I used them excessively, but and they worked when I needed them. Um, but this journey has not, this time around has not been fun. To be down over 40 days, and I literally checked my math because I thought this started on May 26th. It actually started on May 25th. It was a Wednesday. I thought it was a Thursday. It was a Wednesday. And I documented my calendar. And what started this episode was different than any of the other episodes I've had in the last 2+ years. It's almost been 2.5 years that I've been down. But I have highs and lows. I've been like this. This is definitely a low for me. It's hard to just walk from here to the door sometimes. Yesterday, the day before, no, 4th of July, I couldn't. So by the grace of God, I still had some B12s. I had been taking them throughout I had taken them before, but I stopped taking them because I didn't feel that they were helping me. And Doc Abel from Wakarusa Medical Clinic, before tax season, I go in there, you give me a shot of B12 in my tail end, pump me up for the race. And if I ever felt like I was going downward, I'd call him up, say, hey, I need to come back in and get another shot of B12. So I took 3,000 mcgs of B12. So I took 9,000 so that I could walk down to the beach to watch the sunset and the fireworks, and I had to ride back on a golf cart because I couldn't walk, physically could not walk back. So, when you realize where your life is headed, when you've got all these things just shutting down in your body, that's the best way for me to describe it. You just go with the flow. I've been holding on to his hand, so he's not going to lead me astray. Never has before, never will. So I'm just grateful I have another bonus day, and thank you for tuning in. You've got a bonus day today. Anna's got a bonus day. God is in control at the end of the day, and we all need to remember that. Nobody else is controlling what's going on in this world. When he's had enough, he's gonna take over. And trust me, he's already doing his work. There's so many of us out there teaching people, leading them towards him. I just keep seeing different things going in a different direction. When my feet start feeling like they're dehydrated and they're cold, which they are cold, but they've never felt dehydrated before. My coloring is changing. My fingernails have already changed from testing positive to these. I mean, I look at my hands now and I'm like, those don't look like my fingernails anymore. When I get a bug bite or something and a scab starts healing, it's not even healing like it used to. That's what this poison has done to us, to me at least. Because my immune system was already weakened when it entered my system. And of course, every day we eat, there's something in the ingredients that we can't understand. It's a poison that our bodies don't need. And my doctor, these remedies that I'm on, are taking the poisons out of me, not putting more in. The environment is the one that's putting chemicals in. Or if I eat something, and I'm eating whatever I'm provided here at the resort, I'm not fussy. I mean, your body does not need a lot to survive. And instead of having my decaf coffee, I decided to have a little hot chocolate this morning in my fun little mug that I adore because it's, I don't know, I cannot stop using it and cannot stop feeling on it because I just love it that much. Plus, I love the fact that it's helping me. I believe it's helping me. It's all in your mindset, right? But it's amazing when you really start looking at your whole life and see the crazy things you used to do and the adventures that you went on and the traveling that you did. And, there's a few things that I would still like to do if I get the opportunity, if there's some miracle that he decides he's going to keep me here. But when when you steadily see yourself going downhill and you every once in a while have a spike up. Harley did too. My dad never did because he was drugged. So I look at somebody that was completely drugged versus Harley. Now, granted, I'm not comparing a human to a human, but it doesn't matter. It's the same end of life. It's the same process. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that I've been around people that are getting closer to their time um, home, to eternity. And they talk to me and they want to talk to me one on one. And this is even before I became a minister. They're like, Nat, I'm ready to go. Why isn't it time? I said, it's not time. It's soon. And you can always feel it. But I could never feel the, the grand finale of it all. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it is a grand finale. I mean, people are going to be sad that you're going to be gone. But heaven, heaven is this going to be this amazing place that I'm no longer going to be in pain. And for somebody like me, that has lived with it for over 2 years, people will say that sounds too good to be true. Well, you know what? If you read this nice Bible, even though mine's a hot mess, you will too realize there is another place outside of this horrific place that it's become out there. I mean, even though I'm going down, I still see things that I want to help people with. And when I can't take care of myself, it's amazing how he will want you to help others, even still. It doesn't matter. Just like when Ed brought me a few days ago when this came in the mail with bones for her and a t-shirt. And he said he had to take some blood pressure meds. So, or actually, the first time he brought it, he was talking to me, but then the second time he brought my blood pressure cuff that stopped working, my own stopped working. So, my soul sister Heather, Indiana said that. Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Um, he sat down, took his blood pressure. It was 154/90. He said, that's not good. I said, that is not good at all. And then I take mine, and mine's 120, 20 something over, whatever. And then it wasn't a few hours later I could feel it changing. So I tested again. I knew it was going to be lower than it was. And for me, 120 is high because I've been in the 90s. So it dropped back down. And it's gone as low as 80/40. And when it gets down to 80/40, my body can feel it. There's not a whole lot of life going on with my body, even though my head keeps wanting to go. Um, so you need to really think about your life in the world that we're living in right now. Have you made your call to Jesus? The other thing I keep doing is I'm like really like burpy, like I'm burping a lot too. Um, make a call to Jesus. Have a conversation with him about where he wants to lead you. What do you know what your gifts are from him? I have always had this gift of teaching. I have my whole life um, because I've always done my homework. And if there's something that I don't know, I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn about it so I can intelligently talk about it. And if I don't know, I will always say I don't know. But give me time and I'll look it up. And even after that, if I don't understand it, I will seek help in understanding it because that's just, I am always driven to finish, to um, complete the puzzle. It's like life has been this giant puzzle for me. When I was a kid, I did constant logic problems, constantly. I couldn't get enough of them. I was like this crazy lunatic trying to get them done. And then I did crossword puzzles, and then they just got to the point where they bored the daylights out of me because then they just became redundant. Um, the same certain words, whoopie ding dong. I need a challenge. That to me wasn't a challenge because once you understand the word and say, oh well, that one's that. So let's get all the easy ones out of the way, out of the way. That goes there, and then fill in the rest. So it's amazing when you. This is really good today. I don't even know what brand it is. It's just whatever they give us here. Um, but I decided when I looked at my own life that I'm getting closer to my end of days, um, which like I said, this is not the first time I felt like I'm dying, but this is different. This is a different feeling, though. In October, I felt like I was dying in a different way because I tested positive for all three vaccines. This time, I feel like I'm going home. I don't feel like I'm being poisoned. I feel like I'm just headed home. I have to, get rid of all the earthly whatever and try to keep her as calm as possible because every time she whines, it adds stress to my body. And she's always been a whiner. So this morning we had to talk about it. And then that's when she laid on my chest. So I decided I'm gonna just keep going strong, keep using my voice, keep trying to lead people to him, to the light amidst all the darkness, and just wait and see how the day unfolds. See what he has in store for me. Um, am I going to be able to go out and sit by the pool for a little bit? I hope so. I'm just going to one step at a time. The first step is I took her out. So that part is she's going to have to go out again. But the next step is to get dressed, which takes energy, and then walk down to breakfast and pick it up and bring it back. So if I can get those things accomplished, and to most people it just seems like nothing, but to somebody like me, that's huge accomplishments for a day for me. And then by the time I get back here, I'm usually exhausted and need a nap. And I could sleep anywhere from 20 minutes to 2, 3, 4 hours. I don't know. I never know. It's whatever my body requires is what I do. And she usually allows me to do it. She's become a lot more protective lately. Been barking more. That's just, I'm sure it's just her alerting people to let them know, what's going on. Um, everybody's got their own mindset, but after learning her and Harley's love languages and understanding how their behavior matches what's going on with me and we're kind of like in sync, it doesn't surprise me when she starts just checking things out and barking and making sure everybody understands. She's got to protect me. She's got to take care of me. So I leave my door ajar all day long. Call it my bungalow. I don't call it my room anymore because I feel like I'm in a bungalow. One of the Jamaican housekeepers, she's been back. Her sister died a week ago. She was pretty down. She came in and she goes, "It's so beautiful in here." She said, "You're so creative." And I said, I'm in here so long, so many days, I had to make it my own without doing anything permanent. I did it all creatively, thinking outside the box so that I could look outside and view the beautiful, which you can see the backdrop. So instead of my bed facing the wall and looking at a picture of palm trees, I can look at the real thing. Or I can sit in this window seat and look at the pool, depending upon how I sit in it. That brings me so much joy. Even doing this video and I can look outside, it's like having a mirror. I'm just at peace with life, and I'm just trying to make this next transition as smooth as I can, rather than being so drugged up that I have no concept of what's going on, and people coming to visit, or even her, and me not knowing they're even. I don't want a part of that. I don't want a part of that. I watched my dad, and it just broke my heart. And then to think the last day he's bebopping to music, the kind of music he loves, and I never even figured out how many days hospice was called. I might have to look into that. Um, and I haven't called him yet. I've done some research. Uh, I almost want them to be here as a witness to what I'm doing in my own thoughts of my end of days. Um, I don't want mind altering drugs. I don't want something that's going to make me just go into la la land. I know what my THC does. I knew what the Delta 9 did. So did Harley. So I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to alter what I'm currently doing when what I'm currently doing is giving me some sort of quality of life. My dad didn't have a quality of life laying in that bed until he was skin and bones. He just didn't. I don't want to. I don't want to do that. I um, I decided long ago I wasn't going to be him. I was going to be different. I've been a a witness to multiple people in hospice cares, and they all reach out to me, and they all want to talk to me. I know I said this just a few minutes ago, but they see a light in me that I never saw until I took some steps back and realized that there's something within me that others are drawn to. It's him. It's Holy Spirit. He's the one that made me fun. He's the one who made me like this. He's the one who knitted me in the womb. That feels good, Hannah Grace. It's amazing when she leans up against me with her warm body. I don't realize how much I need it until she's up against me, and it's like another heating pad. So I got this one wrapped around my back, partially near my heart, or at least where it feels like it's going to my heart. So I'm keeping everything warm. Keeping it warm is helping ease my pain. Cold does not help. This room temperature is okay for a while. I have to heat it up though. Doesn't have to be hot. It needs to be warm. Um, so have you thought about your end of days? Have you thought about who's going to be with you, or if anybody? Um, I'm not surprised. You know, I chose to move away from everybody. and move away from the darkness. Um, and I'm okay. I'm okay if the only person that, or I don't care if the only living entity in this bedroom or this bungalow is her. I don't, if she's the only one here, I'm okay. I'm so okay with it because you want to talk about unconditional love right here. We give it right back and forth constantly, no matter what. So, when you when you finally realize how humans behave, and it doesn't matter how much you give, that's their own demons they got to work on. All you do when you come to that realization is you help educate as much as possible. And when they've decided that you've educated them enough and they want to go on their own, you just sit in the wings and watch them. Some of them continue on your teachings, and others fall off the wagon. It happens constantly. We cannot control what others do. All we can do is educate. And the biggest thing that I can say throughout all of this is love. If you can surround anyone that you're around with love, they can't help but see that. And they can't help to reciprocate that. And they may have to do it in their own way, or they may kind of have to take a step back to realize, wow, how did you get like this? What made you like this? He did. He did. He made me like that when I was knitted in the womb. He was with me throughout what I dealt with my mother and my sister. Um, it's funny, when you really look at your life, and I've never tried to be anybody besides me. And when you look at people that try to be you, it made me sad. It always made me sad. It didn't make me happy that somebody wanted to be like me because God made them unique the way they are. They're beautiful the way they are. Why are they trying to be somebody they're not? My sister constantly tried to be me. She was beautiful the way that she was, and she is. I've never had somebody say to me, well, nobody can be perfect like you. I am far from perfect. But in her eyes, she that's what it's amazing when you step back and you really look at everything from an outsider's perspective, just like me in my end of days. I, I'm sure I'm going to have some more tears. Today's a good day. But when you look at it as you're the caregiver to the patient, take the personal out of it, look at it as science. Look at your end of days as science and to help others on their journey and to maybe add a different set of guidelines for your end of days. Um, you know what? Make-A-Wish Foundation. They always give somebody a wish if they're, you know, what a great program. So, most children want to go to Disneyland or something. I mean, it's such a cool and unique thing. Well, for me, I don't need to make a wish. I mean, trust me, I wished upon a star many a times. But I've had a great life. It's not been perfect, it's far from perfect. Did I make some bad choices? Oh boy, did I. Did I make some crazy choices? Yes, I did. Have I been forgiven? 100%. Because He forgives. You know, throughout this journey, when I had a colleague that was keeping like a listing of my life and kept badgering me on Facebook when I was posting things that were educating people. And she was attacking me. And even when I took the conversation off, and I'm trying to tell her, you know, about her life and what I've seen out of her life and her journey along the way, and she's still attacking me. Not once did she want to listen to what I'm saying about her journey in life and all the hurdles that she got through, losing her husband at a young age in their marriage and having to raise their son on her own. She's become quite bitter, and it made me sad, especially to look at her attacking me when there was no need for it. I'm sorry if my brain doesn't match yours, but you need different mindsets to decipher all the nonsense that goes on in the world. If we all had the same brain, could you imagine what a hot mess we'd be in? Even worse than we are now? Good grief. So I've just reflected a lot of my life, and if I could give anyone advice, stop working for a living. I'm 56 years old, and I don't anticipate my 57th birthday. And I can say that confidently. Now, he's the final say. He's got the final say, and if he wants me to make it, he's going to make me get there. But if 9,000 mcgs of B12 did not give me enough strength to be able to walk to and from the beach, I know where I'm headed. I'm not stupid. I don't know when he's going to call me home. I just pray that throughout my journey, with any event that has occurred in my life, if I've been able to change one person's life, then it was worth it. And the beauty of this YouTube channel for me, starting with Princess Harley when she was down in August, was to share with the world His Word and my reflection and my thoughts on it with my girls present. Um, what a gift to be able to use our voices to share that with the world. And when I started doing that, it made this journey that much more fun. And to watch the numbers go up, and I'm well over 100,000. And it's really weird. All of a sudden, at a certain date, it cut off. So all my history up till that point is not there, at least not showing up on YouTube, but I've screenshotted it along the way. And what's really interesting is India in my list of geographics just went in front of Canada by a little bit. I thought that was pretty cool. So I want to look at, I did a video a while ago to see if we can't get our YouTube channel around the globe, hit all the countries. I think the last one was Hong Kong, and the one above that is France. But I'm just on this mission now to get our YouTube channel throughout all the countries across the globe. Because every person that looks at it, opens it up, is another call to Jesus. The reason why it's not 333 is because of Jeremiah 3:3. Call to me and I will answer. Show thee great, mighty things. Or something to that effect. I keep saying it. I adjusted it once in a while. But that's the gist of it. So I'm kind of on that crusade now to make calls to Jesus all over the globe with my YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, Heaven's Treasure Ministry. So I don't know if you've got somebody in a different country that you know, please send them a link to my YouTube channel. I would love to see our channel go all over the globe before he calls me home. What a great gift to him it would be. Talk about a lot of phone calls to him. But if he decides to keep me here on earth, I'm going to keep fighting, and I'm still fighting. Even though I'm in this daybed. I want to say armchair, but she's my arm, I guess. My part of my armchair. But we all have to just take the time to breathe and think about the time we've wasted struggling to make ends meet for what? I'm so happy without all the nonsense, without all the upkeep, without all the... I mean, I loved it. I loved it. I loved all my things. But I have just what I need right here in this room. And I can't take any of it with me. So I'm hopeful that Banana Bay will find use out of my things, especially my little kitchen I made up, to give them an out-of-the-box mindset. I don't know. I just kind of felt the need to share some more thoughts as I continue on this journey and this fight to stay alive, because I'm certainly not trying to hurt myself. I'm doing everything I can so that I'm not in pain. So basically, the name of the game for me right now is pain management, outside of spreading his word. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. Wait, let me do my 365 gifts while I've got this still going. This little ledge is perfect. It's just perfect. Even you can use this as a sofa table. Oops, I was going to read out of the Bible. Okay, so today's, well, this is interesting. It's kind of apropos. Number 187 and 365 gifts, because let's just face it, every day is a gift, right? And today's titled Reflections, and that's what I was just doing, which is not an accident or a coincidence. It just cracks me up all the time. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 12. You walk by the mirror and give yourself a second glance. Your hair is a bit messy and you need to touch up your lipstick. You turn sideways and gaze at your profile. Sucking in your stomach, you look again. Frustrated, you release your breath and go back to your natural position. It's true, you don't always like what you see in the mirror. Your reflection doesn't lie. Every freckle, every wrinkle, every flaw is evident at the glance. But think about what your life would be like without the ability to see your reflection. Yeah, like somebody that can't see. You would be so limited. No way to check your hairdo, your makeup, your hemline. You're relying on everybody else. Remember when my girlfriend came to stay with me and I asked her to do my makeup and I looked at it in the mirror? What? Look at yours and look at mine. And you think I look beautiful? Okay. No sense of whether or not, your blouse and skirt went together, or your jewelry looked okay with that ensemble. Mirrors might show us every bump and wrinkle, but they're still a blessing. One we wouldn't want to live without. Lord, I don't always like the reflection staring back at me, and there was a time when I got sick. When I first got blood clots, I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. It was 186 pounds. I wasn't even looking at myself. I just go, this is bullshit. That's what I say in the mirror. I go, what I'm looking at is bullshit. This is not okay. And I kept fighting. Worked on that landscape. Beat the daylights out of my body and added more pain to it, and I didn't care. Because I couldn't stand to look at my reflection. I could see the pain was written all over my face. I'll read this again. Lord, I don't always like the reflection staring back at me, but I'm so grateful for mirrors. Thank you for giving us the option to see what needs to be seen so we can do what needs to be done. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, being able to enjoy your reflection without carving it up, going under a knife, just saying. Why adjust this handiwork? Unless you got war wounds, and I've got them all over my body from my crazy adventures. But when you realize the gift of sight, and those that are born blind or become blind, or those that are nearsighted and can't see far away, or that are farsighted and can't see close up. And when I really thought about the magnitude of that, and I think I touched on this on another video too, is God gave me eyes to see close up, because it's not the people in a distance that I need to be worried about. It was a piece of people that were close around me that I need to be looking at further. Those were the darkness in my life. Not all of them, but a lot of them. They were takers, they were users, and they continue to do so. Those people need to repent. They need to make atonement. People can keep laughing at your jokes, but is it going to be funny when you meet the Maker and he makes a decision for you? You no longer get to make your own decisions, and there's only two places you're going to go, there or there, and you can believe or not. It's your choice. But you need to turn from your wicked ways. And don't think I haven't heard your nonsense. And it doesn't faze me a bit, because I look internally inside of the person that it originated from and see all the darkness within that person. And even those people, some of the people that visited me have darknesses within them. They know it. Some of them had to run, lace up their running shoes and run. They couldn't sit and handle the truth when I'm sick because of what they did. Sorry if the truth hurts you. But don't go back and talk a bunch of crap about me that's not true. That's not okay. And think I'm not going to hear about it. He did hear it at all. And that's the beauty of this journey, is all those people that have stolen from me and stabbed me in the back, and talked crap about me. Oh, they don't know that I know. But it's not about me. He's the one that's going to make the final ruling. He has the final say. Just like he has the final say in when he calls me home. So I'm going to live my life as much as I can physically live my life until he calls me home. And some days that means The only time I go outside is to take her out and come back in, or walk up to breakfast and come back in. Then so be it. I have a beautiful view. I have a beautiful view. And in the morning, if I want to see the golf, all I have to do is start walking down the hall because the girls open the rooms up when they clean. So I just have to walk by one of the rooms that are on that side of the building, and I can see the water without walking down there. I prefer to walk down there. So I'm hopeful that I'll get to go out here and I'll get to walk out there later today. I don't know yet. My temperature goes way up and way down. My pain in my chest goes from nothing to raging. So I have to constantly be adapting. And I sleep a lot upright because of the congestion that has been building up. I have found if I sleep kind of elevated, sometimes I fall asleep with my knees up even. I sleep longer. But this little monkey last night normally sleeps on, like if you're laying in bed, she sleeps on the left side of the bed. And it's really interesting how I keep alternating. Like the Coco Cabana, I slept on the left side. At Green Acres, I slept on the left side. But ever since, well, and even at that first resort I went to, I slept on the left side. But here, I sleep on the right. At La Casa, I slept all over. I slept sideways. I slept however the girls planted themselves. I'd sleep around them. I just kind of, okay, well, Mom's going to sleep here, so I'm going to move you over, part the seas. I never slept in the same place. Sometimes I slept sideways because king size bed, you can. Upside down, it didn't matter if I had a head bed or not. I didn't care. I just had my two girls on each side of me. So when I woke up at 4, because I had fallen asleep here and I was like so comfortable, I just went right to sleep. I got ready to go in bed, and when I, opened my eyes, I looked. She was sleeping on my side of the bed, heating it up for me, so that when I came to bed, it was warm for me, because she knows the warmth is helping me and making me more comfortable. So when I crawled into bed, she just kind of moved over just enough that I could get in, and then she could snuggle right back up to next to me. And right now she's laying on my foot, both my feet. What a blessing that was to leave from here and go over there for a while. So I slept for a couple hours in bed, and it's kind of nice to be not so confined to a bed. At least at La Casa, I was on my sofa all the time, looking outside. But I could walk right out to the balcony, which was great. If I wanted to get, my bathing suit on, all I had to do was walk out with my bathing suit right there. Here, I have to go down the back steps to get to a lawn chair, which I have done that, but I haven't had enough strength to do it lately. So I'm hopeful that maybe later today we'll be able to do that. So I really want to reward her for taking such good care of me and take her swimming. So I'm hopeful that I'll have enough energy to do that later today. So I hope you think about your life. Think about your faith, and where is it right now? Are you in denial? Are you not sure? Are you just completely, no, you don't exist, that's just fairy tales? Well, maybe when you see them face to face, when you get to your end of days, then you will understand. But it's not a coincidence that I keep going back to Matthew. He keeps reading the same stuff. I keep reading the same stuff over and over. And it's crazy how there's things that I'm reading that's like, yeah, I understand. I did that. I know I did that. I was that person. Yes, men did act like that with me. Yes. So surrender to Him is my best advice. Surrender to Him, and from then on, your life will change. And it's not going to be an easy road because you will be tested. I've been tested. I know. I I don't know. There'll be more that come into my head. I'm sure when a devotion pops up, some stuff that I'm thinking about that are rattling around in my head will come out. So stay tuned. We've got more coming up. Love to all bunches and bunches.